Good morning and welcome to Bated Breath Tarot. So, how are these full moon energies treating you guys? For me, I woke with a knowing that the fairies really have something to say for us today, and so I'm using the Fairies Oracle by Blindspot or Frood. Let's see. I have to pause for a minute. I'm picking up on a wave of emotion. I was going to draw more cards, but we'll start with these. First out is the bodacious Bodoc. Not 220% sure how we pronounce this guy, but I am aware of his meaning. But we'll still go to the book for that. And unity. And to say numerology is getting my attention today, we have the Bodoc is 59, 5 plus 9 is 14, 1 plus 4 is 5. So maybe something coming up in the 5th month, May. And unity being 1. Which draws my attention to the number 1 life paths out there. The bodacious Bodoc. And just like with angels have different phylas of angels, there are different phylas of fairies. I believe the Bodoc is part of the helper phyla. Let me double check that. Oh, fairy guides and guardians. Okay. Meddling, tampering, sabotage, quote unquote helpful fixing, and order. The Bodoc, or old man in Scots Gaelic, means well. He likes to fix things. He drops down chimneys at night and tidies up for you. If you don't have a chimney, he'll find another way in. You left a stack of papers on your desk? He'll file them for you, probably in someone else's desk. No one put away the uneaten roast beef? He'll assume you don't want it and give it to the neighbor's dog. He is not the fairy who ties elf locks in your hair and makes bits of it stand out in odd directions while you sleep. That is just a cousin of his. He has far more important work to do. The Bodoc is a meddler. He will tell you, if you catch him, that he means well. It's just that things never turn out quite as he expects them to. He feels that you should be grateful for his so-called help, even while you clean the metaphorical eggs off the metaphorical walls. And he is amazed when you're not. Although his feelings are easily hurt by your lack of appreciation, he is persistent. He will just redouble his efforts to be helpful. The only way to discourage him is to tidy up your own loose ends and clutter. And this is already smacking direct reminiscence of our last reading for the full moon regarding, I believe it was the stingray from Whispers of the Ocean Oracle, and clearing your clutter, clearing your space. I'm sure you know people like the Bodoc. They helpfully answer your phone and take down the wrong message. Then they lose it and give you a garbled version. Worse yet, they give other people messages from you that are not exactly or even nearly what you said. On the rare occasion that they do pass something on accurately, it is either something you never meant to pass on, or it is said specifically to the wrong person. The Bodoc also likes to gossip. Someone somewhere is meddling uninvited in the issue. It may be you. It may be someone else. See if you can work out who it is and begin to untangle the messy web they have woven of confusion and disorder and misunderstanding, which is so much worse than our own natural disorder. It will take great firmness to get this person to keep his sticky fingers out of your affairs, or you to keep yours out of the affairs of others. The amount of tact you use in sorting this out is up to you, but the Bodoc type person doesn't usually notice hints. Remember, whoever it is says they mean well. They may even believe that. It is very hard to believe that the Bodoc's bad results are always just an accident, as he insists. He may believe this, but we don't have to. The word sabotage comes to mind. If you don't want the Bodoc hanging around looking for ways to help, make sure you don't leave things in the wrong place or dangle any loose ends. He might find some bodacious things to do with them. So that was the bodacious Bodoc. And then we have unity. Unity is the singer phyla of fairies. I see many things in the unity card. For one, there's stag energy, which for the feminine is about integrating her divine masculine. And there's also the Ace of Swords, which to me speaks of having to cut away certain things, which may seem counterintuitive in a unity card. However, to have unity and allow unity to flow through us, there are certain aspects that must be guarded against and allowed to flow around or over us rather than through us. Union, mystical experience, spiritual home. Unity comes first and last. In between, we have the illusion of duality, which we all believe in for a very long time. This apparent duality is ultimately shown to be an illusion, but it is an illusion through which we must pass through, which we learn to grow, and then once again return to unity. You may have had mystical experiences where you've had true union with other beings, or even with the unity, the one who is all. Such experiences change our lives, effectively showing us that the saying, "we are all one," is not just a pious belief, but is a statement of actual fact. We are not separate like the flowers in the field, but are one. The only way to reach this awareness is to surrender the small everyday self to the larger spiritual self, which is unity. Experiencing full oneness with the unity is transformative. Looking at this painting, one observer notes, all the power is focused in here, vast energies. It is as if all the power is looking for a place to happen. And I would like to read that last line again. It is as if all the power is looking for a place to happen. This is exactly what is going on. Unity is the energy of the cosmos, still unmanifest, still without form. Here we see the dark and the light, masculine and feminine, active and passive, and other polarities all expressed in balanced, energy-filled, vibrant union. All that is one, and that one is God, Goddess, is the principle expressed. From this, all else derives. This is the source from which we draw our strength, our very being. And if you'll see again in the painting on the card, how the root chakra is emphasized. When this card comes up in a reading, it is asking us to remember the mystical concept that we are all one, unified in a holistic universe. It reminds us to look at the needs and goals we have in common with others and to seek cooperation and community action rather than attempting to do everything on our own. To achieve our goals, we need the active cooperation of others, and to get that cooperation, we must be helpful to them and willing to work with their ideas as well as our own. It suggests that we think of things in terms of equal partnerships rather than in lines of hierarchy or hierarchical authority. Unity tells us we have much to gain by remembering our own wholeness. Resolution of inner conflict is often necessary before we move ahead. It is important at this time that we work toward cooperation and reconciliation within and without. Seek the highest good of all involved, and not merely your idea of highest good. Ask for the divine energy of unity to permeate and guide you. So, I'm going to seek some clarification in another deck of fairy cards, the Healing with the Fairies. Let's see if perhaps I can get some advice or some direction as to if there's something in particular that this guidance is referring us to. Let's give it a big girl shuffle. Or two. And one more for good measure. Bam. Bam, bam. So, for the Bodock, Fairies, any particular guidance? Oh my. That was a bit much. Just a moment. Okay. This would be a great deal to read directly from the books, but I will give the general regarding this. We have breaking free. Look inside yourself. Family harmony. And awakening your true self. Breaking free. Do you feel trapped in some life area? This card asks you to take the first step in freeing yourself from any unnatural restrictions. I'll hold these up just like this for you as a reminder of this card reflecting on the other two, okay? Sometimes we feel trapped by outside circumstances. For instance, we believe that financial or family obligations compel us to accept an unsatisfactory job, or we're afraid to leave or fix an unhealthy relationship. Perhaps we feel that our family or spouse won't let us pursue life-enhancing activities such as college classes or exercise programs. Then again, maybe we feel controlled by our addictions. The fairies say that the fairies say that when we're responsible for ourselves, we're more responsible for others. That is, when we are happy, our family, friends, children, and spouse enjoy being around us and are inspired by our strength and confidence. Pray for help in releasing your fears and in assisting you in breaking free. God's plan is that you be responsible while simultaneously feeling as free as the birds, angels, and fairies. The affirmation with this card is, I am free, I am powerful, I now allow myself to enjoy this freedom and power. We have look inside yourself. You've been trying to find satisfaction through outside sources such as material possessions or relationships. You're also looking for help from other people. The fairies ask you, look within for the answers you need. Sometimes when you feel empty, your first reaction is to try and fill up the emptiness by acquiring something or someone. You may fall in the trap of thinking, I'll be happy if or when I have fill in the blank, new lover, an advanced degree, better wardrobe, etc. Then when you get the new acquisition, you only feel satisfied for a little while. The fairies remind you that the only source of fulfillment or true fulfillment is by connecting with spirit within. Have a mental conversation with your creator and feel yourself filled with divine love. The same holds true if you're searching for answers from outside authorities. Now, there's nothing wrong with seeking counsel from wise friends, especially if their advice echoes what you know to be true. But perhaps you've been asking your friends, mentors, or psychics for solutions, and you feel confused by conflicting advice. So if everyone is telling you different solutions, you'll need to meditate on what your inner guidance is telling you. Affirmation: I have great beauty and light inside of me right now. I tap into all the knowledge of the universe. We have awakening true self. I don't believe I got that out of order. Hold on. Family harmony. We'll do that first. The fairy kingdom says your relationships with family members are healing as you hold loving thoughts and feelings about the souls involved, including yourself. You experience genuine harmony within your family. Every person in your life is affected by your beliefs and expectations, including your family members. By drawing this card, you are counseled to hold positive and loving thoughts about anyone who seems to be irritated or hurt you. The more loving energy you send to each person, the more love you will be directed back to you. Have patience. You are beginning to feel a great healing occurring in your family relationships. The fairies ask you to think of 3 reasons why you are grateful for each member of your family. If one person seems to particularly frustrate you, think of 5 reasons why that person is worthy of love. Send blessings and prayers to that person, and your relationships will show immediate signs of improvement. Affirmation: I see the goodness within each member of my family. My family life is harmonious and filled with love and joy. Now, for awakening true self. It's a lovely little card. You're beginning to recover your natural identity, including your old sense of humor, interest, passions, and desires. Trust that any confusion or changes you're currently experiencing are part of your healthful evolution. As if a cloud has lifted from your mind and heart, you're beginning to see life from the perspective of your old self. You just went through a period where you gave up who you are to please another person. You buried your interest, ignored your friends, and tried to fit into another person's lifestyle. Now your old self is emerging. You're back. As you recover your authentic self, your life and your personality are going through big changes. Hold tight and allow these changes to occur. The fairies ask you to trust that the parts of your life and personality that are falling away are inauthentic and false. Know that you're building a solid foundation of truth and that everything is working out perfectly right now. Affirmation: I now give myself permission to be my true self. I now give myself permission to be true to myself. I think in conclusion, I'll draw a blind spot card. Kind of feels like it calls for it. This is a big deck, so, well, I was going to say a little larger to shuffle, but there's one that really came through immediately, so we'll go with that one. So we have blind spot sigil number 7, meaning. If you have drawn this sigil, you have assigned a meaning to this situation or an experience that is part of the situation. That is not the actual meaning of the experience or situation. People search for a way of interpreting the implication of every experience in their lives. Seeking out the meaning of experience is an advanced form of consciousness. But, as we all know too well, there are pitfalls in advancement. The ability to derive meaning is both something that sets our species apart as an evolved and rapidly expanding facet of consciousness, as well as what causes us to self-destruct. The quality of our experience is flavored by one thing, and that is the meaning that we assign to the experience. It is critical to recognize that there's a difference between what actually happens and the meaning of what happens. We must see that meaning does not inherently exist in the world in and of itself. Therefore, meaning does not inherently exist in a situation. It is an interpretation, and it is best not to confuse interpretation with truth. If meaning does not inherently exist in an experience, We must and do assign it to the experience, and then we mistake the event and the meaning of the event for the same thing. You can destroy your whole life based on the meaning you assign to an event. For example, imagine that a 3-year-old girl asks her dad to play dolls, but he is on the phone. He yells at her to stop bugging him. This is a traumatic experience for her at 3 years old. She takes it personally. Now let's pretend the meaning she assigns to the event is this: I am insignificant to my dad. That was not the meaning of the experience for the father. The meaning for the father was, I'm busy right now. But the moment that the little girl assigns meaning to the event, it is as if a colored lens comes up over her eyes, and from that moment on, all things that happen between her and her father are filtered through the colored lens.